Prime Minister Motley gives the preparatory work for Ross University an A grade. The fire service concerned about the high number of fires this year as a result of people burning garbage and grass. And coming up in sports, Bravo and the Stars get their first win in the Big Bash League.
Credible, balanced, committed. This is the CBC Evening News.
Good evening, I'm Shane Jones, leading the news at 7. Well, when Ross University officially opens its doors in Barbados, the villages at Coverley will be well equipped to handle its large number of students and staff. We'll get back to that story a little bit later in the news, and I'll tell you just what happened this evening with a tour with Prime Minister, the Honourable Mia Amor-Motley. Well, despite a reduction in the number of house fires in 2018, the Barbados Fire Service is reporting a significant increase in the total number of fires for the year. Chief Fire Officer Errol Maynard says it's largely because Barbadians continue to burn grass and garbage. Sharika Griffith reports.
The Barbados Fire Service has responded to 72 house fires for the year, compared to 78 for the same period in 2017. Chief Fire Officer Errol Maynard says with more than 2,200 fires overall this year, it's causing some concern, particularly when compared to the 1,782 fires last year.
The increase were in the areas of rubbish and grass, as opposed to house fires, because the house fires, there's a reduction this year over last year. So we're still struggling with getting persons to avoid burning grass and rubbish, which is more nuisance and environmental problem.
Chief Maynard is therefore appealing to Barbadians to find alternative ways of disposing of their rubbish. He says burning should never be an option. As it relates to house fires, Chief Maynard says their investigations have revealed several causes.
We have some carelessness, we had some electrical defective equipment, and in a few cases we had fires burning from, direct burning from a rubbish or grass fire onto the property. And that leads me to appeal to persons also keep around their property clean. There should be a break between their property and grass or canes that is around them. If they do that, it is literally impossible for there to be a direct burning from the grass onto your property.
The chief is also concerned with the high number of motor vehicle accidents requiring the assistance of the fire service.
We need to appeal to persons to be a little bit careful. Drive to stay alive, as they will say. Because if you are not careful and drive with consideration for the other person, then there's always the possibility of having an accident. And we have seen too much death and carnage over the year, and we're hoping that in 2019 that will be reduced significantly.
Figures provided by police last month suggest there have been close to 6,700 traffic accidents for the year. Sharika Griffith, CBC News.
Well, as I was telling you, Ross University officially opens its doors in Barbados. The villages at Coverley will be well equipped to handle its large number of students and staff. I joined Prime Minister Mia Amor-Motley and a high-powered ministerial party that toured the location this evening. Over 1,500 students and hundreds of faculty members will pour into Barbados when Ross University officially gets underway in Barbados. And the location, the villages at Coverley, is ready.
I grade hard, so I would say because I haven't seen everything, I will cautiously go with an A- to A.
That's what I was
I can't get to A+ until I see everything. But I've also learned in life that sometimes the pursuit of perfection is the obstacle to progress. So you have to claim ground where you are and keep building and moving again.
That was the initial reaction of Prime Minister Mia Amor-Motley after touring the 3- and 4-bedroom housing facilities that will be home to many international medical students. While stressing that the country needs to be extremely welcoming at this time, Prime Minister Motley says being able to fully facilitate Ross University in such short order is a credit to all Barbadians.
The wider Barbadian community will benefit significantly. As I said, the faculty's accommodation isn't in here, that's off Coverley, so that's literally across the community where people will benefit. And of course, just the purchasing power. Minister Simmons said it just now. You're probably talking that we start off the year with the equivalent of 75,000 7-day tourists. That's what Ross's equivalent to us will be.
Off camera, I heard Prime Minister Mottley mention that based on the design of the roadways in the villages, the students should be introduced to our indigenous sport of road tennis. While Tourism Minister Carrie Simmons said his ministry will ensure that they can have a full Barbadian experience.
Because they're going to be here for 9 months, it is really like a 9-month tourist, more than 9 months. So we are looking forward to having them fully integrated into Barbados and encouraging them to participate in all that is the Barbadian tourism experience. And by extension, therefore, it means a little bit of a spill-off for all of those people who are engaged in commerce and entertainment and all the other things that students like to do.
Acting Minister of Education Lucille Moe believes that Barbados will become the educational hub of the Caribbean.
We believe that this is just the start of many more opportunities for other educational institutions to come to Barbados and get both an educational experience as well as a truly Caribbean experience while you're going to school.
Health and Wellness Minister Colonel Jeffrey Bostic says his ministry recognizes the importance of being able to provide support to the students and faculty of Ross University.
We are very, very delighted as in terms of the environmental status of Coverley at the moment, and certainly Lloyd Erskine Sandyford Centre. And so I am looking forward to the arrival of students and faculty and the integration within our society and the interaction with ordinary Barbadians. This is a plus for Barbados.
President of Adtalem, the owner of Ross University, Lisa Wardell, says they are over the moon with the transformation at Coverley.
As I look at this housing that was just shells and look at these student accommodations, our students are going to be thrilled. They have been in temporary locations, and to be here all together, our Canadian students, our U.S. students, all of our international students together, it's going to be a wonderful homecoming for them as they all arrive on the island from December 29th all the way through January 3rd and 4th. About 1,500 students will come here to Barbados to begin their basic sciences studies at Ross University School of Medicine, or continue for those who are in the later semesters.
There will be an official opening ceremony on Saturday. Tributes continue to pour in for retired distinguished military official Major Courtney McConney. The 90-year-old passed away on Sunday morning surrounded by loved ones at home after a brief illness. Major McConney had a distinguished career in the Barbados Coast Guard, the Ministry of Defense and Security, and held several other senior positions in various ministries. He also served as the military assistant to the Governor General of Grenada during the invasion from 1983 to 1985. In a long and successful career, Major McConney also served as the personnel manager and secretary to the board here at the Caribbean Broadcasting Corporation. Major McConney was married to his wife Daphne for 59 years, and they have two daughters, Dr. Glenda Gay and Avril McConney Lovell. Dr. Gay says he will always be known as Dad.
Dad was family-oriented, people-oriented. He retired from the civil service, I think probably in the 1970s, and was also a retired major in the Barbados Regiment. He remained active and became involved in numerous organizations, including St. John Ambulance Brigade, Barbados Legion, the Royal Commonwealth Society, MISA, too many to mention. He was an active member of St. Barnabas Church. Dad was loved by all and had a great sense of humor, even near the end. That's why we are celebrating his life. The Major was a gentleman and a gentleman.
Former radio program manager here at the CBC, Wynne Callender, remembered the Major as a caring gentleman.
Major was always willing to help. He was always caring. He was always there for people. And there was something special about the way he handled people and his principles. I met him later on in life in a different area, and then I realized that he was a man that was deep in religion, he was deep in fraternities, etc., and he brought all of that to bear when he worked at CBC. A good man has gone on, and I'm sure that wherever he is, they will be the beneficiaries of a great human being.
A Barbadian businessman is now out on $220,000 bail after appearing in the District A Magistrates Court charged with the possession of 107 pounds of cannabis. Police say 53-year-old DeCosta Alexander Brathwaite, owner of clothing store D's Megastyles, who resides at number 2 Charleston Gardens, Cloden Road, St. Michael, appeared in court today along with a Jamaican co-accused, 50-year-old George Washington Williams, who is visiting and staying at First Avenue Accommodation Road, St. Michael. Brathwaite was required to surrender his passport as part of his conditions for bail, while Williams was remanded to Dodds. Brathwaite and Williams are charged with acts of preparatory to the importation of cannabis and trafficking in the drug, which has a street value of $450,000. They were arrested on December 20th. Both Brathwaite and Williams are scheduled to reappear in District A Magistrates Court on January 24th in the new year. The Barbados Water Authority is today reporting that all the issues it experienced over the last few days have been resolved. Several communities in St. Joseph especially were left without water for a few days after the authority experienced pumping issues. Marketing officer with the BWA, Yvette Harris Griffith, says there was a 4-inch burst main at Easy Hall St. Joseph yesterday, but that was quickly repaired.
Barbados Water Authority had no pumping issues, and the water service is back to normal in all the areas that would have been affected and impacted on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. So the water supply was restored to all the affected areas.
People who use the Worthing Beach are being advised to exercise care. That's because a cautionary zone has been implemented in the area. The warning is targeted at owners of coastal cruisers, other pleasure crafts and dive shops, fisher folk, water sports operators, dive operators, and independent divers. Government has commissioned a temporary marine outfall offshore of Worthing Beach, where treated wastewater leaving the South Coast Wastewater Treatment Plant is being discharged. This zone encompasses a radius of 300 meters extending in all directions from the end of the diffusers or discharge point of the temporary marine outfall. Authorities are advising people using the beach to take all necessary precautions to minimize contact with the discharge from the outfall occurring in the area. Relief is coming to the residents and motorists using Flagstaff Road. Member of Parliament for St. Michael's South Central, Marcia Kettle, says after much delay, that road is finally being fixed.
Half of the road has been done, as you would notice, and it is anticipated the Minister Duguid and Minister Phillips have indicated to us that they will begin the other half on Thursday of this week, and it is anticipated that it will be finished by the end of January. The feedback we've received so far, not just from residents in the area, but people who use the area and the road quite regularly, is that they are relieved. They're happy that they no longer have to deal with the severe issues that this causes for them. Indeed, even when it rains, there are flooding issues that would occur if the road has been dug up and while it is waiting to be fixed. So we are happy that we've been able to address those issues. We're not finished, but we are well on the way to having the road completed, and we thank the people of Flagstaff, people of St. Michael's South Central, and Barbadians for their patience.
Pan-Africanist and Minister of the Environment and National Beautification, Trevor Prescott, wants Kwanzaa celebrations to be embraced by more segments of the Barbadian population. The festival, which originated in 1966, is a Pan-African holiday which celebrates family, community, and culture. It is observed from December 26 to January 1st. Speaking at the launch of local Kwanzaa celebrations last evening, Mr. Prescott defended the festival.
It is not an attempt to get rid of Christmas for those who want to share it, but this is our festival. This is our black festival, and this is the festival of the black people of Barbados and the black people throughout the world.
Minister Prescott also challenged fellow Pan-Africanists to spread the word about the significance of Kwanzaa.
We have to reclaim that. We have to reconnect that lack of black African consciousness. We have to sell Kwanzaa as a chapter in the general philosophy of the development of black people in the world, not just in Barbados or not just down here at this institution. We have to go home and think, why all of us will come down here tonight? What are we going to do when we get back out there in this society?